Second Range Operations Squadron's main goal is to usher different launch providers into space through the use of our range and the various range assets that we have. So day to day, we are in constant communication with different launch providers. SpaceX, United Launch Alliance, Firefly 2 is a new one. And then we're constantly asking kind of what their requirements are and how we can arrange the range to kind of meet those requirements. So the Space Force is always trying to move towards a more digital-based force. So 2ROPS is definitely taking that and running with it. As we've gotten more and more launches, we're definitely trying to transition to that more digital type of structure. 2ROPS' main goal is to ensure public safety, both on Vandenberg and in the surrounding area. So we're partnering with safety here on base and as well as our launch providers to ensure that.
So at 2SLS, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. So we've got 3 different flights, or actually 5 different flights, 3 different flights that are focused on launch vehicles. So one that does the Vulcan side, one that does the Falcon side, and one that does small lift. And then we have a mission integration flight and a mission support flight that kind of fill in the gaps in between those. Day to day, our engineering flights are looking at kind of the history of the launch vehicles and doing fleet surveillance, what we like to call it. So if you think of rockets in terms of like a jet fleet, but for rockets, we do the same thing. So we want to make sure that issues that we see on one particular launch, we want to monitor them and assess them and understand them before we go into the next launch, so that if that same issue comes up, we can say, oh, hey, we've seen this before, we know what to do. So that's our day-to-day operations from an engineering standpoint. The ops tempo increase has been a big thing for us, and like you said, we are seeing a massive increase, almost 200%. So 12 launches in previous years and now up to almost over 30 this year. So we've done internally, our 2SLS team, we've kind of sharpened the pencils and looked to see what we can do to slim down our launch team. So typically for launches in previous years, we would have almost 30 people. Now we have cut that team down to almost 12. So we've kind of increased the responsibility on the members of the team, but allowed us to be more flexible so that instead of having to spin up 30 people every 10 days for a launch, we can do kind of cycles of smaller teams to get that through.